What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Cartoon Conspiracy with your host, as always, K-Mac Time. Today we're going to be talking about one of the greatest fighting series of all time. Of course, I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z. One of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. Probably one of the best shows ever made, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and jump right into this awesome theory I found over on Reddit. So before Dragon Ball Z, there was a show called Dragon Ball. It had a lot of human characters who were skilled martial artists and became friends with Goku, but none of them were ever as strong as Goku, because again, he's an alien, he's a Saiyan, he's all that kind of stuff. And once Dragon Ball Z series started, a lot of the human characters were overpowered by the space aliens, the androids, the monsters, the Boos, the Cells, the androids. All those people were overpowered, and all the human people were just kind of useless, except for one, which is Krillin, which in this theory is going to tell you why Krillin is the best martial artist of all the fighters in the show. Now, most people think he's just some kind of comic relief and occasionally moral support, but I'm here to argue that he's the best fighter in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. It's obvious to anyone who watches the show that Krillin is nowhere near as strong or even close to as strong as a fighter, but he managed to hold his own against seemingly impossibly overpowered opponents throughout the entire series. And we're going to go through most of these, starting off with the Saibaman warrior. This one obliterates Yamcha, who was about the same strength as Krillin at the time. He kills him, or Yamcha, with one attack. Just one of these people killed Yamcha with just one attack. Keep that in mind. Whereas Krillin managed to fight off 3 of these at once and destroy them all with one attack. Very, very badass. Very, very strong, and it just shows that he's a way better fighter than Yamcha. Even though they're about the same skill level, about the same strength level, he's just way better. Next up is Nappa. Now, every other Z fighter had already thrown everything they had at Nappa, and he was still standing there unscratched. Krillin then throws his special attack known as the Destructo Disc at Nappa. Vegeta sees it coming and he freaks out. Nappa realizes how dangerous the attack is just in time to escape with only a gash on his face. Had the attack landed, however, it would have for sure killed him. Krillin was the weakest fighter, yet he came the closest to taking out Nappa, who was over 10 to 20 times stronger than him with just one attack. He was the only fighter to draw blood before Goku showed up, so he was highly above the rest of the other Z fighters outside of Goku at the time. Later on planet Namek, he's the only human except Bulma on the entire planet, and clearly the weakest fighter by far. It doesn't stop him from holding his own against the bad guys. Again, yes, he dies a few times, he gets his ass kicked, but he eventually manages to fight against possible odds against Frieza. Even before he dies, takes off part of Frieza's tail and makes him weaker for Goku to finish off. So he played a very, very important role in this. Again, the only human, like I said, on the entire planet outside of Bulma, was the only human there fighting. Managed, like I said, to cut off part of Frieza's tail, which is more damage than Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan did combined. He did it with the Destructo Disc, I believe. His death was, it was also his death. The time he died the second time, the time that Frieza blew him up in midair, is what caused Goku to go Super Saiyan. So he also played a huge role in that as well. After the Frieza saga, he is resurrected by Goku, and all is good until the androids show up, which are way stronger than Frieza. These things are the most powerful things in the universe at the time. But who's out there fighting them? Who's out there kicking ass? The only human out there doing it is Krillin. He doesn't do much in this series, however, but can you really blame him? These things are the most powerful beings in the universe, hundreds of times stronger than him. He ends up marrying one, so if that counts for anything, he gets to fuck their bitch. But as you see here, they take down all the characters, at least once. But, at least he didn't stay in and watch it on television like all the other humans did. At least he came out and put up a fight. He didn't do much in this series, but, he can't win them all. But like I said, he does end up fucking that bitch, so, I believe he still wins in the long run during the Android saga. Now, if we flash forward to the Cell games, which basically just a combination of all the androids, Frieza, and all the strongest fighters from throughout the galaxies, there's a part where Cell creates these Cell Juniors, which are these little blue little runt things, little cocksuckers. So Goku, Trunks, and Vegeta have to go Super Saiyan. Basically, they take on these things to beat these things. Whereas Krillin manages to fight off one by himself. They seem pretty evenly matched, and he only loses after getting sucker punched by the thing after he was checking up on Goku, who was getting his ass handed to him by the same Cell Jr. who Krillin was fighting. This means until he let his guard down, Krillin was fighting something that is easily as strong as at least a Super Saiyan. And at this point, Krillin, a human, managed to hold his own against a creature that a few years ago, a few sagas ago, would have been considered equal in strength to the most powerful creature in the universe. So that is something that to point out that he's just a human and he's still doing all this crazy stuff. He's become very, very strong. He can hold his own against something that is as strong as a Super Saiyan. So therefore, he's very, very skilled. He's just a human. He's not a Super Saiyan. He's not a Saiyan. So how is he doing this? He's a very, very skilled motherfucker is how. There's also a moment where Krillin attacks Boo, which is the most powerful creature in DBZ, a couple storylines. He would have won had it not been for Boo's regeneration powers. Yamcha and the others didn't even try anything, but Krillin shows up, knows what he's doing. He gives it his best shot. Boo totally didn't see it coming. He had another, if he didn't have regeneration powers, that Destructo Disc would have cut him right in half, and the saga would have been over, and Krillin would have been the superhero. But unfortunately, he had regeneration powers. But he did give it a good shot before he died in that series as well. So in conclusion, Krillin is the greatest martial artist of all time. Despite being one of the weaker fighters in Dragon Ball Z, he is outmatched and overpowered from episode 1. He could never be as powerful as the godlike characters, the Saiyans and all that kind of stuff. Despite this, however, he never quits and retires from action. He goes up in battle against people he could never hope to defeat, but he goes up and he tries his best, and he holds his own against most people that are just stronger than him, 10 to 100 times stronger than him. He holds his own. So that is why I feel like he is one of the strongest characters, if not the strongest character, not strongest, but one of the best fighters, or the best fighter, on top of having the Destructo Disc, which is badass. So let me know in the comment section down below if you think this holds any water, if you guys think Krillin is the best fighter. Not the strongest, keep in mind. He's not the strongest, but the best overall fighter. Because he does the most with what he has compared to Goku, who is 100 times stronger. Yes, he's the better fighter overall because he's stronger, but if Krillin had that amount of strength, he might be a better fighter because he has more skill. Anyway, we'll leave that up to you guys. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this. And as always, guys, have a great day. Make sure you guys subscribe to get all of these theories in your sub box daily, weekly. I do this here a bunch of times a week. As always, guys, have a great day. Game the fuck on. Until next time, guys, peace out.